mentioned that it was a possibility. And I think that at that time it was one of those things to where I really didn't want to tell anybody just because it wasn't confirmed that it was really going to happen. And my wife for sure was excited. And it was one of those things to where you don't really plan when you come into college something like that to happen. You kind of look up there and it looks like this far-fetched opportunity of honor for the people that are already up there. Mm-hmm. And when I was playing, I would believe Cromwell went in when I was here. And it was one of those things to where I thought it was pretty cool, and I didn't even think people, like, you visually get to see people go into the Ring of Honor. It's such a moment of joy and accomplishment that is usually achieved when your kids are a little bit older, and me only being 32, I was like, wait, what? But obviously seeing Akeem, Chris, Todd, Anthony Collins go in there in the past couple of years, and I had a chance to see Gilbert Brown, who was obviously a little bit older than I am, but played a hell of a season, a hell of a career here, and a hell of a career at the next level. But it was pretty remarkable, pretty surreal, and even now it still is. Mm-hmm. I have a habit of trying to mistaking humility over modesty. And at the same time, it's two different things. When people are being modest, that's not humility. And the reality of it is sometimes we take away from our abilities or our confidence because we're trying to be modest about things, which is the way we perceive things. I remember the best game of my career at Arrowhead Stadium. And I had 2 interceptions, a forced fumble recovery, and almost a dozen tackles. And after the game, all I could think about is a touchdown I gave up. But I got a 97 on my grade. It was the highest grade Bowens ever gave me. And 97 because I got 3 negatives in one play, and it was a touchdown. But the modesty part of it was, I was like, people would say, oh man, you played a heck of a game. I can't believe that's probably the best game I've ever seen somebody play. And all I could think about and say was, yeah, but I gave him a touchdown. Was remember the bad things that happened and not the good things or the things that went well. And I've learned over my career that opportunities are opportunities regardless if you're ready or not, but you have a better chance if you're ready and prepared. But the reality is that your perception should be, if it doesn't go the way I want it to, what can I learn from it? Not, oh, I failed. Because if you have an opportunity to do it again, then you didn't fail. You can learn from it and go back and do it again. And I think that's one thing that's helped me a lot along the way. So finding out that I was going to Ring of Honor, all I could think about is the guys that helped put me there. The sacrifices made for players, the blocks that my linebackers at the time, Joe Mortensen, Mike Rivera, and James Holt, took on so I could make a tackle, so I could be free, or the lanes that they were in so the quarterback had to loft it up a little bit higher so I had a chance to intercept it. But just the camaraderie of that team, and at first I was taken back, like out of all the people of that team, I'm one of the few that go up there. But the reality is that I'm a representation of that era. Not only just impact on the football field, off the football field, on the campus, it's remarkable and it's breathtaking.
Has this really sunk in yet for you?
No, I don't think it really will until I'm on the field Saturday maybe. But yeah, it hasn't really sunk in. And my son's been to my NFL games, 4 years of them. My daughter was at 2 years of them, and my second daughter, Isley, she has never been in one, but she's like the most excited about football, and she loves. Like we went to Denver to the Thursday night game last week, and she was just so enamored about the football game. She was like, I want to go see Chris Harris, and she was so excited about it, and she loves football. So I wish she could have seen me play, and we joke about it. Me and my wife talk about pulling out highlight tapes, letting her watch highlight tapes and convince her that it's daddy playing. And at the same time, and we just had another son who's 4 months old, so we got 4. And I think it has set in when I'm on the field with my wife, my kids, and my mother and my father, and it's pretty cool.
Stuck, were you here when Chris and Akeem and Todd went up? Were you
in
the stadium?
For all of them.
What did you learn from watching them do it? I mean, that's an emotional day that I think, like you're saying, you can't really feel like what it's going to be until it's happening. But did you talk to those guys about how it goes, how they felt?
I didn't. Solely because I was in the moment with them. Like, it was so exciting. Like, Chris is like a little brother to me. And shoot, Akeem was like a great leader, a great example when I first got here of what it took to play at a high level and play on and be a great teammate on the field. Because Aqib is very loyal, and he's very much so. Once he trusts you and he gets your trust,
Yeah.
he's locked in. He's a brother for life, and seeing Ty go in, it was so energetic. I don't have the punch that he has.
Not gonna do it.
I don't know if I can. Maybe the no hand backflip. I don't know. I haven't did it in a while. Had a couple of knee surgeries. We'll see. But from them, it was just been in the moment. It was so much joy, and to have 5 people now, the 5th one from the same era, from the same team, to go in on that stadium, and that's amazing. And I'm sure there's a lot of other people that deserve to be up there that came before us, and we'll get there. But right now, in this moment, that era of football was amazing.
Les mentioned that you've been ministering to this team. What's been kind of your main message to this group?
Oh, main message to this group. It changes from week to week. And I say that because the biggest thing is you leave your house every day. I think it was Seneca who said that, Western civilization, for those college enthusiasts out there, that said every day you leave your home to never return the same. You either get better or you get worse. But how you return is up to you. And that friendship is not for benefit, but for mere practice of friends and being friends and serving each other and doing life together. And for us, it's enjoy the moment. It's a journey. It's a journey of your life, and this game is a tool. It's not the plate that's feeding you. It's the utensil that is being used to feed you, that's been used to teach you, to educate you. And in life, eventually you're going to put that utensil down. You have to find another passion that you're going to continue to eat with. To use, I guess, a modern term in a different way of an analogy, but at the same. But I just love the idea of building with these guys and playing at a high level. It makes it easier for me to gauge them emotionally, and as a mentor, as a minister, also been in campus ministry, it allows me to also gauge them in a way in which they needed, whether it's from a spiritual sense or just from a sense of football and being a mentor and really helping them hone in, whether it's time management or whatever it takes to get them to understand that they are valued, and everybody has an urge to belong. And this game came to me at an age that I needed that sense of belonging. Like in playing this game, football, Dana became my father. And I say that because you learn so much from the game that a father teaches his son. A coach approaches a player the way a father approaches his son. He wants the best out of you. And as a player, you want to win his approval. You want your coach to adore you or to approve of your actions. And when you walk away from it, it feels like you're quitting and that you're letting your father down. But the reality of it is you have to realize what it gave you in that process. Just like, I think it was a Marvel's movie, actually. I won't say which movie, but some of those Marvel enthusiasts might know. It said a father's goal, like my whole goal in life was to prepare a son to live without me. A coach's dream is to prepare their player to be on the field without them, to play the game without them. And the reality is, for Coach Mangino, that was his goal for us off the field, for us to leave that field and be able to live life without him, without anybody else, self-sufficiently being strong fathers, strong husbands, and strong people. And I think I was a success story of his.
How much, when you're dealing with the current players, is football versus life?
It's a lot.
When you're
It's a
dealing
lot
with
because a lot of players that play now, most of the things they think about is football, right around football. Even though it consumes so much of their time, they're going to think in terms of football. So having the ability to draw from football experiences and how that correlates into life. I mean, obviously, as an athlete, especially on the football team, you have to learn to thrive surrounded by alpha males. You have to learn to be criticized daily, knowing that everything you do is on videotape. I mean, that accountability, that level of trust, that level of perfection or expectation or pressure, you can't get that anywhere else at that age or on the college campus. So athletes believe that they graduate less because they spent so much time in athletics, but reality is if you can graduate and have a 3.0 and play a full-time sport, and for me, I'm biased, football, you're kind of ahead of the curve when it comes to team ability, being able to work with others and having confidence what you do and finding value in your position, finding your responsibilities in it and moving forward to where you can become something that's of credit and of value of whatever position or group that you're in.
You mentioned
a couple of your kids haven't seen you play. I guess there'll probably be a video for them to watch. You're gonna have them watch the big screen.
Potentially a video. I think I made a couple plays for them to put up there. But yeah, they're gonna be really excited. And I don't think that they will really understand what's gonna happen until it happens. But when I see that veil come down and see Stuckey up there, it'd be pretty cool. Probably it might even be pretty emotional. I'm pretty sure it will be for my father.
Which play do you want to see? If you had to make sure there was one on the highlight film.
Just one?
Sure. I'll make it hard on you.
Just one.
Not the touchdown he gave up either.
Yeah, you can't
be
take
that one.
one.
There's a couple of them that I would want to see that I didn't even make the play. And
Oh yeah, right.
I like the 4th and 1 at Texas A&M.
Sure.
Jaworski Lane, and because I jumped the gun and took on the puller and opened the gap for Joe and those guys. That was just a phenomenal play for us in that season.
You redirected the play.
100% of it. Well, I'm not in the count. I wasn't in the count. So as a safety, you're not in the count. And I gave the call to the end, and if he blocks out, I'm shooting the gap for you. And now the puller is looking for the linebackers, but now he sees me flash across them, and I held on to him and made sure that he couldn't go to nobody else. But yeah, it's.
That one
But
up there.
I think my play would probably be Louisiana Tech.
Yeah.
When I think it's Livis, I think his name is. He broke my angle. He ran in reverse. I had him in the slot. I traced him over, and he broke my angle. He was fast. And I kept believing, kept running, and tackled him like at the 6-yard line or, 3-yard line or something like that. But the craziest thing is the very next play is I got a tackle foot loss, and I celebrated it, and like all the wind in my system was gone after that. I should not have celebrated. And I jumped as high as I could, and after that, I'm pretty sure I was like, oh my goodness, okay. We got another play. And luckily they didn't throw to my guy. Luckily he only was running slant. And then we held him, and I think they missed the field goal.
Right.
Which was 29-0. And non-conference game, I think that sets the tone for your defense. It really makes your defense realize that every play is important. And that was big for us in that moment because Coach Mangino had a mentality that when we played non-conference games, we got ahead early. He would start sitting down the offensive players, but the defensive players, we were going to stay out there as long as we could. And it was mainly because, hey, he wanted to build us to be hard-nosed and tough enough to, no matter what, we're gonna. If we have a goose egg up there, you better maintain it. If you walk off the field, you better go hope the person coming next can maintain that, and to take pride in whatever we do and the result that we put out there, and not play at the level of our opponent, but to play our best at all times, and individually and collectively as a group.
Darrell, have you talked to Coach Mangino since all this?
Yes, multiple times. He actually, more likely, will be there.
Cool.
He has a baby girl, I think or a son. Tommy's having another son. Tommy has all boys, and Samantha has all girls. But his wife is actually, I think, been induced today. So, yeah, him and Mary James will make their way up from Texas to Oklahoma City. And, yeah, Mary Jane's going to stay in Oklahoma City with Samantha. He's going to drive up for the day of the games. This is at 6 p.m. So I'm excited about it. But I told him, I said, hey, no hard feelings if you don't make it. You got grandkids, and that's the pride of a grandpa right there. Yeah, so you couldn't be more happier.
Thank you, guys.